just mentally tune in. Taking an in and an out breath. And now bring your attention to the base of your spine, your Muladhara chakra, connected to the element of earth. Move your attention a little bit further along your spine to your lower abdominal area, the sacral area. Connected to the element of water and to your kidneys and your adrenals. Bring your attention a little bit further up, still along the line of the spine, behind the navel, connected to our digestive system and links to the element of fire. Coming in with our attention further up along the spine to the area just behind the heart. Connecting to the element of air and linking to our sense of touch. Draw your attention along and up your spine to the neck area. The throat connects to our communication and speaking our truth. The element of ether. And then the next centre to focus on is the centre of the forehead, the third eye. Again, the element of ether. And connecting to our centre of intuition. In yoga it's called the Ajna centre. And finally bringing your attention to the crown, top of the head, bringing everything together. We're still with the element of ether. Bring your hands together at the centre to align your posture. Take a bow for yourself. Drop your hands underneath your thighs and come to rolling onto your knees. Tuck your toes and come to roll up into a standing position, taking your time to get up, notch by notch, vertebra by vertebra, and come to the top of your mat. Spread your toes, press your feet into the ground, and your feet are about hip width apart. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up, and look up if that is appropriate for you. Breathing out, lower your hands and bend your knees, bringing your hands to the floor, either side of your feet. Inhale here and lengthen your spine, lengthen from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathing out, bend your knees and step or slide your right foot back, the right knee goes on the ground. Your toes can be tucked, your right toe or flat. Just pause here for a moment to feel the stretch along your spine in the inside of your thighs. Bring your left foot back so that you're kneeling in a cat position, and feel free to adjust your knees as you inhale, dipping your back and looking either up or along the floor. And breathing out round your back. Your chin comes to your chest. Inhaling, dipping your back again. And this time, as you begin to round chin to chest, tuck your toes underneath and come for just a moment into a straight line, your heels up. You might want to adjust your feet backwards. Plank, and then instantly drop your knees to the ground. Your elbows come to the ground so that your bottom is in the air. Feel that you can walk your knees back and that your elbows can come forward to lie on the ground in a sphinx position. Your toes can be tucked or untucked. Take an in and an out breath here. And again, another in and an out breath. Walk your elbows back towards you, bend your knees and come back to bottom in the air. You might need to move your knees forward. Come to lift your elbows back into cat. This time tuck your toes, engage your lower abdomen slightly to your spine, and lift your knees, coming into a soft dog, and feel that you can adjust your feet. Inhale, bend both knees, extend your spine. Breathe out and lengthen your feet. Your heels don't have to touch the ground. Bend your knees and lengthen. And bend your knees, and then lengthen your legs. Bend both knees now, coming back to the ground. And move your hands to the left, giving space for your right foot to step up with your right foot, and then move your hands either side of your right foot. Your left toes can remain flat or tucked. Tucked gives you potentially a greater balance for the spine, but it's up to you. And then lift your body up to hold your right knee. And inhale, lift and roll your shoulders, opening your hands, looking either ahead or straight up. A moon salutation. And then breathing out, come forward, laying your body over your front right knee, and your hands on either side of your front right foot. And just enjoy a stretch once more. Tuck your back left toes underneath. Engage your lower abdomen towards your spine, about 10 or 20% of your capacity. Lift your back left knee and step or slide your left foot to your right foot. Hip width apart. Hands go on your shins. Press your hands on your shins as you have a sense of lengthening from your tailbone to the top of the head. And breathing out, bend your knees, elbows go out to the side, curl in. Inhale, press your hands once more on the shins as you lengthen along the spine. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, soften your knees, press your feet into the floor and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And then inhaling, raise your hands either looking forward or up, stretch your fingers and come slightly back. And breathing out, lower your hands back down alongside you. Inhale, exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale, hands up, looking ahead or back. Breathing out, bend your knees and bend your elbows, rolling down. Hands either side of your feet. Inhale, lengthen your body, straighten your knees a little bit, have a sense of stretching. Breathe out, bend your knees and slide or step your left foot back, your left knee goes on the ground. Enjoy the stretch. You can use your right elbow to secure your right thigh so that it doesn't splay out too much. And then stepping or sliding your right foot back so that you're in cat, and feel free to adjust your knees. Inhaling, dipping your back, looking either along the mat or up. And breathing out, chin comes to chest as you roll. Inhaling, dipping your back. Exhaling, rolling. Bring your back to neutral. Engage your stomach towards your abdomen. Tuck your toes. You feel, if you want to, that you can move your feet back, that's fine. To come into a straight plank. Tummy in and then drop your knees. If that's too strong, just stay in cat. Bottom goes up in the air and your elbows come to the ground. You can stay like this if you don't like coming to lying on your tummy. If you want to go to the next stage, move your elbows out in front of you, move your knees back and come to lying in Sphinx pose. If you are in Sphinx pose, press your elbows into the ground and almost pull your body along the mat. That gives you a centimetre of length in your tummy and hips. Kind of pull yourself forward and then relax. Bend your knees. Press down on your elbows, move your knees to your elbows and elbows to the knees. You're coming back into cat. Dip your back as you look up, rounding your back, chin to chest, tuck your toes. Abdomen engages into the spine slightly as you lift up into your dog. Keep your knees bent and lengthen your spine first, and then feel that you can adjust both your feet. They might like to come forward, they might like to come slightly wider. And walking the dog, either bending one knee alternately and then the other as you rock from side to side, or bend both knees and straighten both knees. Your heels don't have to touch the ground. You're pressing your thumb and your second finger, index finger into the mat to secure your posture, and the insides of your elbows are facing towards one another. And then bend both knees as you come back down to the ground. Flatten your toes, that's optional. Move your hands to the right to give space for your left foot to come up. Hands either side of your left foot. Walk your hands up the lower leg to your knee. Kneel up. Lift and roll your shoulders, looking ahead or up to the moon. And then breathing out, lay your body alongside your left knee, hands either side of your left foot. Tuck your back right toes underneath, engage your lower abdomen towards your spine a little bit. Lift your right knee and step or slide your right foot towards your left foot. Feet are hip width apart. Hands go on your shins. You inhale and lengthen along the spine from tailbone to top of the head. And breathing out, bend in, bend your knees and bend your elbows, chin to chest. The vagus nerve is focused here, the calming inflammation. Inhale, lengthen. And stay here as you exhale. Inhaling, bending your knees, pressing your feet down as you roll up vertebra by vertebra. Raising your hands, stretching your fingers. Your thumbs go towards your head, your little fingers go away. And breathing out, lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathe out, bend your knees low. Inhale, lengthen your legs, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, bend your knees, right foot back, right knee on the ground. Left foot back. You're in cat. Adjust. Dip your back. Round your back. Dip your back. Bring your back to neutral. You can carry on doing that, or otherwise tuck your toes, maybe move your knees back, coming into a straight line, heels up, plank, straight away bend your knees, knees back to the mat, bend your elbows, bottom lifts into the air, slide your elbows in front of you, knees away from you, and come to line. Inhale, lengthen your body by pressing into your elbows. Breathe out. Bend your bottom, bring your elbows back towards your knees. Inhale, dipping your back. Breathing out, round your back. Tucking your toes, coming into a downward dog. Bend one knee and then the other, walking your dog. Bend both knees and extend. Bring both knees back down to the ground. Your hands go to the left. Your right foot comes up. As you kneel up, lift and roll your shoulders, opening, looking up or straight ahead. Bring your head upright and make a twist so you turn to the right, towards your right knee, and just enjoy this rotation. Come back, hands on the knees again. Lay your body across the top of your knee, hands either side of your front foot. Tuck your back foot underneath, lift your left knee, and step your left foot towards your right foot. Hands on the shins. Inhale, lengthen. Breathe out, bend in. Breathe in, lengthen. And stay here as you breathe out. Inhale, soften your knees. Press your feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And inhale, raise your hands, stretch your fingers. Breathing out, lower your hands, head is upright. Lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind you. Aim your knuckles towards the ground, opening your shoulders. Take an in and an out breath. Separate your hands and slide your hands down the backs of your legs as you bend your knees and bring your hands to the floor either side of your feet. Inhale, straighten your legs, just lengthen them. If your hands don't reach the ground, just place them on your shins. And then bending your knees, step or slide your left foot back, left knee on the ground. Then right foot. Adjust. Inhale, dipping your back. Looking up. Breathing out, rounding, chin comes to chest. Inhale, dipping your back. And come to neutral. So if anybody doesn't want to do the plank, then just carry on doing cat-cow. But if you want to do plank, then from a neutral position, tuck your toes underneath, come to a straight line. You might need to move your feet back, to the heels up, and then instantly drop your knees, bend your elbows, keep on doing cat-cow, if that's your option, and then walk your knees away from you to allow you to come flat on the ground into a Sphinx pose. Inhaling, press your elbows down and almost pull your upper body towards the front of the mat. You create a tiny space, it's very releasing for the lower back. And then release that, come to kneeling again, move your elbows back to facilitate that. And then come back up to cat, dipping your back once more, rounding, chin to chest, tuck your toes, come to dog, lengthen your spine and then straighten your legs. Your bottom moves away from your wrists to lessen the weight on your wrist, bending your knees and straightening and bending and straightening. You can sway your bottom from side to side. Just remember to engage your lower abdomen slightly towards the backbone. Then bend both knees back down to the ground. Move your hands to the right, space for your left foot to come up. Hands either side of your foot again as you kneel up to hold your left knee. Lift and roll your shoulders, opening, looking either up or straight ahead. And then bring your head upright as you turn towards the inside of your left knee and just make a slight twist. You can open your hand out behind you, depending on your flexibility. You can look ahead or look behind you, again depending on your neck flexibility. And then bring your hands back to your knee, slide forward, hands back down to the ground outside the left foot. Tuck your back right toes underneath. Tummy comes in. Lift your back right knee. Step your right foot to your left. And this time take hold of your big toes, both big toes, your second and third finger, and your thumb goes on the top. If that's not accessible to you, then just hold your shins. If you can manage this, you're creating a complete circle of energy. You can soften and bend your knees as much as you need to, and your elbows can go out to the side. If you want to make it a slightly stronger pose, then just straighten your knees more and straighten your elbows more. The head is forward, chin is to the chest. Very calming for the nervous system. Take one more breath in and out here. Place your hands on your shins as you support your weight, rolling up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Lift and roll your shoulders. Raise your hands up to the ceiling, stretching your fingers. Lower your hands, bring your head back to the centre. Lift and roll your shoulders. Just turn your head to look over one shoulder, as little or as much as you would like. Take an in and an out breath here. Bring your head to the centre and very gently turn to look over or towards your other shoulder, as little or as much as you would like. And come with your head back to the centre. Bring your hands once more to your heart centre and just feel how this lifts your entire body up. It's uplifting, it's a back bend in fact, as you're lifting from the sternum, and feel how this gives space in the lower abdominal area. And then taking your time to come down to the mat, however that feels good for you to come down to the mat. And come to have your feet out in front of you. Take any support that you need. Take the flesh out from underneath your bottom and take a hand position that supports you as you bounce your legs, and then as you breathe in, extend your toes upwards, and breathing out, point your toes away from you, as little or as much as you'd like. The stretch on the back of the foot connects to part of the lymph system in our bodies in reflexology. Toes up, breathing in, and toes away as you breathe out. And again, toes up as you breathe in, and toes away as you breathe out. And then circling the ankles in one direction. And then circling the ankles in the other direction. And then just once more sliding one leg in as you just lubricate the knee joint by swinging the lower leg. If this is accessible to you, don't worry if it's not, just bring your hand to support your shin, the elbow and the knee go out to the side, and use the other hand to manually circulate your ankle one way and manually circulate your ankle, circle your ankle in the other direction. Just relax your ankle into your hand and let the hand do the work. And then just release that foot back down to the ground and stretch your leg out. Stretch all your toes and just release them and relax them. And then bend your other knee in, supporting underneath, as you just gently swing your lower leg. And this lubricates the knee joint. And then sliding your hands down the leg a little further to turn the knee out to the side. And use the other hand to manually rotate the ankle bone in one way. Relax your foot, let your hand do the work, and then relax and turn in the other direction a few times. And then release that foot back down to the ground and slide the foot out. Stretch all your toes out and release and relax them. And stretch them again. Stretch into your big toe, mound of your big toe, and then just relax. And sliding your right knee in, you can take support under the thigh, lengthen your spine, turn towards the outstretched left leg, and raising your hands up, you can come straight forward or you can bend at the elbows to slide your hands down toward your shins. Press your hands into the shins as you slide your hands up a little bit, and breathing out, slide your hands down the shins a little or as much as you would like. Inhaling, sliding your hands up, and breathing out, sliding your hands down. And one last time, breathing in, sliding your hands up, and breathing out, sliding your hands down. Slide your hands up, hug the knee into the chest, the bent knee into the chest, and just enjoy that hug. And then supporting that leg, slide that leg out. And bring your attention to your other leg. I'm going to bend up my left knee. The sole of the foot is aiming towards the inner right leg. It doesn't have to touch, you can always take support. Your right toes are pointed to the ceiling, so you're engaging your right heel and you're beginning to connect into a muscle called the psoas muscle, which is part of your support, not just for your leg, but it has an emotional support role as well. And just lengthen your spine and turn towards your outstretched right leg. As you raise your hands up, lower abdomen in, either coming straight forward or bending your elbows and sliding your hands down the shin, stopping where it feels comfortable for you. Breathing in, lifting up, and breathing out, sliding down. And breathing in, and sliding down. And breathing in, and breathing out, sliding down. Slide your hands up, hug your left knee towards your chest, slide out your left knee so that both legs are straight. Hands either side of you, you can readjust your bottom if you want to, lengthen, and slide your hands back down your shin again, to where you want to. Now then, you can stay at your shin. If you want to catch hold of your big toes with your second and third finger, you can. Wherever it feels comfortable, breathe in, and as you breathe out, engage, tighten your perineum slightly, just bring your tummy in. Hold the breath out for a moment, and when you want to breathe in again, just breathe in and release the hold, come up again. Breathe out, slide your hands down to where it is good for you. You can hold your big toes again. Breathe out, tummy comes in, just engage everything. Hold that breath out. And when you want to breathe in, release your hands, press down on your shins and come up again. And last time, this is called Maha Mudra. It's engaging all three of your bandhas, so it's very beneficial internally. Breathing out, hold the breath out. Chin is to chest, you're engaging your Uddiyana bandha and your Mula bandha, three bandhas. Jalandhara bandha is the chin, and then just breathe in, come up. Bend your knees and come to lying on the mat, knees bent. Just enjoy the sensation of the mat holding your body. Your hands can be alongside you, palms down. They can be resting on your abdomen, so your elbows go out a little bit more. Or if you want to open your underneath your arms into your upper limb system, they can be stretched along the floor in a T. Have your feet hip width apart, definitely, but you might like your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. And just gently let both knees swing in the same direction. For as you go from side to side, your hip will lift slightly. Breathing out, your knees slide to one side, both of them. Breathing in, your hips, your knees come upright. And breathing out, your knees gently drop to the other side. Hip lifting each time. And how much you drop your knees is entirely up to you. The wider you have your feet, the softer this is on your back. So you might want your feet right at the edge of the mat. And then there's an option to move your head away from the direction of your knees. So as your knees go in one direction, as my knees are going left, my head is gently turning away to the right. I'm bringing my head and my knees back to the centre and letting the knees drop to the other side and turning my head to the left. And coming back to the centre, and do that a couple of more times in your own time. And come back to the centre. Bring your feet closer together to hip width apart. Bring your arms in, bend your elbows, and just hold your elbows as you raise your hands. If your hands don't go to the elbows, that's fine, just wherever's comfortable. Just raise your hands above your head and rest the backs of your hands on the floor. You're opening up under your arms. Just wiggle gently from side to side, stretching your intercostal muscles. And feel the gap in the lower back area. Take an in and an out breath here. And then breathing out, lower your elbows back down to your side. Just gently sway your knees from side to side. And lower your left leg straight along the mat, turning your right knee out to the side. Your right foot faces the inside of your left leg. It's a lying tree. So extend your left heel as if you're pressing your left foot into the floor or a mat, and pressing into lovely soft fluffy clouds that's supporting your weight. And just take an in and an out breath. You get the benefit of really rotating your right leg, the hip socket, the leg in the hip socket out to the right. If you were going to stay here for any length of time, you're always very welcome to take a support under your right thigh. And then very gently bend the right knee so that you're doing Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. You might want to move your feet slightly away from your perineum for an easier opening. And again, this is a subtly different movement from doing Baddha Konasana in the seated position. So again, you've got lymph nodes on the inner groin, and you're opening these lymph nodes, so you're opening your energetic pathways. And then keeping your left knee bent, extend your right knee so that you're doing line tree on the other side. Again, extend your right heel and feel that you're lengthening along your right side. You'll feel that the right hip, subtly has a very small amount of space. So you're opening your hip area out. And then gently bend your right knee. Have both knees bent, both feet are on the floor. Just once more, gently rock the knees in the same direction from side to side. And then keeping your feet pressed down on the ground, your hands are alongside you, palms down. And just start a gentle pelvic tilt, moving the spine up and down. There's a little gap that appears at the base of your spine, and then you flatten your spine as if you're going to lift your bottom. Very soft and gentle lower spinal movement that extends into our lower energy, our abdominal energy, and it's part of our foundational energy. So if this is out, then your whole body energy is out. So this is a very good place to start at the base to regulate everything else. And then carry on, pressing your feet into the ground. You can lift optionally your bottom up a little bit, bend your elbows and lift your elbows up behind you. Your chin tucks down, and the backs of the hands go on the ground. And then breathing out, lower your hands and lower your bottom back down to the ground. And take a recovery in and out breath. And then pressing your feet into the ground, lifting your bottom, bending your elbows, lifting your elbows up, chin to chest. And then breathe out. And then start to lower your arms and your body back down to the ground. If you wait, the breath catches the movement. Finish your movement and then finish your breathing. And this time, press your feet down, lift your bottom, raise your elbows. As you start to breathe out and lower everything down to the ground, bend your knees in towards your chest and just gently rock from side to side. And then holding the knees, hug the knees into the chest. Still holding the knees, let the knees travel away from you to arm's length. Hugging both knees into the chest and let the knees travel away. And hug both knees into the chest and let both knees travel away. Let your left foot travel to the ground. Clasp underneath your right thigh and gently extend your right foot. You can keep your knee bent and extend your right heel and feel the stretch along the back of your right leg. You can slide your hands optionally up the back of your right leg, bringing the right foot and leg towards you slightly. That will increase the stretch. And then open your right knee to the side and rest your right ankle on top of your left, top of the leg, the thigh. And just have your left palm down on the ground and your right palm can rest on your right inner thigh. Just rock your knee and your left foot slightly from side to side. So you're massaging across your right buttock, the upper part of the sacral area. And then both hands support your right leg as you take your right foot off back to the ground. Just let both knees gently rock from side to side. Keep your right foot where it is as you lift up your left leg. Clasp underneath your left thigh as you begin to extend your left leg up to the ceiling and then extend your left heel. Feel that stretch along the back of the left leg. And then you can optionally walk your hands up your left leg, which you'll feel the left leg coming towards you. Again, this is within your control, as little or as much as you would like. And then walking the hands down, open your left knee to the left and place your left ankle on top of your right leg. Your left palm might like to come to the inside of the left leg and your right palm can be on your abdomen or on the floor as you gently rock from side to side. Massaging across the top of your left buttock. How much you rock dictates how much massage you give yourself. And if you wanted to do this at home, you can always get a ball that feels suitably comfortable to place under either side to increase the massage potential. And then very gently take the hands underneath your left thigh just to support that left leg as you lift off your left foot and just place it back down onto the ground. Press your feet into the ground, just lift your bottom an inch and slide the hands, palms down, under your hands and then place your bottom back on your backs of your hands. Just lengthen your back of your neck by chin coming down, making sure that your chin hasn't, the back of your neck's long. Bend the knees in towards your chest. Adjust your hands so that they're comfortable. You can stay like this, or you can then just gently raise your feet to the ceiling. Knees can still be bent, and just very gently sway your legs from side to side, reversing your blood flow. It's considered an inversion, and any inversion is very balancing to the hormonal system. To get full benefit, you would need to stay here for quite some time, but it's just an introduction, and a very nice alternative if you want to stay longer is to make yourself comfortable and put your legs up against the wall. But for the moment, we're just exploring this movement. And come to the centre, bend your knees into your chest, remove your bottom by moving from side to side, remove your hands from under your bottom, and then just hug your knees into the chest. Circle your legs by holding your knees. Let both knees travel to hips, arm's length away from you. Open your knees in a V and then circle them back. Just a very subtly different movement. It moves the upper leg femur in the hip socket. And of course you can carry on doing this, but there is the invitation to reverse the movement, reverse your circle. You don't have to, but it does balance the hips up. If you were doing this at home, it would be 3 times, 5 times, and the optimal number of circles would be 10 times in each direction. Hug your knees into your chest for one last time. Support your legs underneath to bring your feet back down to the ground. And you can either stay here in constructive rest by resting the tops of the knees together in an A, or come to a full Shavasana relaxation for a couple of moments. while we revisit the energy points that we did at the beginning of the class, starting at the base of the spine. Just bring your attention to the base of the spine and the space beyond the base of the spine. The Muladhara chakra, where you have a proliferation of nerves, blood, energy centres, the base of the spine connecting to the element of earth, and all animals have this basic survival instinct. It's our food, that's our connection with the earth, our home. And moving your attention once more from this earth centre. In one system it's a colour red, there are different systems, but moving to your abdominal area, along the inside of the spine, it's just above the base of the spine, and this is the colour orange, colour connecting to the element of water, kidneys and adrenals. In harmony it's the element of joy, and out of harmony it's the element of fear. And moving along now to the spine behind the navel. In the yoga tradition it's called the hara, just actually below the navel. And in the Chinese system it's the dantian. So it connects into your core, but for our body it connects into the digestive system, and the colour in this system is the colour of yellow, connecting to our inner fire, the tapas of our digestive system. And our digestive system that isn't working properly leads to an accumulation of agni, so there's toxins in the system, on the negative side. On the positive side, of course, everything functions beautifully. And then moving along the spine again to behind the heart, bringing your focus there. The heart connects to the element of air, the sense of touch, and the colours in this system of either green or pink. It's our emotional centre, of course, so too much energy and someone can be very open-hearted, but they can also, it can lead to aggression and competitiveness, but too little and it can lead to someone being very timid. So be aiming for a balance of energies, just right, not too much, not too little. And then moving along in your thoughts and focus to the neck. We leave air and move to the finer elements of ether along the throat. This throat area connects very much to our respiratory centre, but also connects to the heart as well. And from a glandular point of view, you're connecting into the thyroid and the parathyroid, so part of our metabolic control. And the thyroid connects in to the adrenals. There is a link, so exhausted adrenals, exhausted stress, can lead to impacting the thyroid, and in certain cases can lead to autoimmune conditions manifesting. And then moving up further in your focus to the third eye, which is the little dent in the centre of your forehead. Again, ether, the element of ether, and it connects to both our intuition but also our centre of knowledge. And from the glandular point of view, it connects into both the pineal and the pituitary, so part again of our metabolic control. And it's easy to think also that we connect to another energy centre in this area, around the side. It's a chakra, or the energy centre for the ears. And the colour for the ears is burgundy, but the colour for the third eye is like an indigo colour, but the ears. So the ears, of course, encompassing the biggest organ in the brain in our body. biggest muscle, figuratively speaking, of course. And then we go to the top of the head, which is the crown chakra, and again the element of ether. It's where we connect ourselves, I suppose, with higher consciousness. So it's where we pick up vibrations, energy of everybody else. It unites all the energy centres of our body and connects, of course, very much to our emotional well-being. But it's a complicated story, it's not just the crown. So bringing your attention to finish to the nostrils and just taking a couple of breaths, noticing the air going in a little cooler, and as it comes out it's a little bit warmer. And pause for a moment to have a thought for the day. It can be for yourself or it can be for anybody. It's a simple statement, a simple wish, a positive thought for the day, and mentally say that thought again. It's called a sankalpa in yoga. It sets your intention along the principle of a thought, a word, deed. A thought is the first thing that can enable something to happen. If you don't have the thought, it's not there. Say it again a couple of times to seal that thought for the day. And then either staying where you are, or if you're seated or you want to come to seated, just bring either your hands physically to your heart centre or mentally think of bringing your hands to the heart centre to take a bow for yourself and to tune out for today, to have a lovely day ahead. Thank you everybody, and thank you very much for joining us.